All right, Shalom Akim. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashmiah Shai. Double honor to the apostle of the great millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect. I have another video dealing with the mark of the beast. I got some new information dealing with these RFID chips. And I just wanted to bring out this information pertaining to how America wants to continue to push this mark of the beast. All right, now a couple years back, during the first initial start of the Obamacare, the information came out that the microchip implant or class 2 implantable devices was included in the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare legislation. And of course, that's dealing with the medical field. So now I have this article from Puppet String News dated March 21st, 2017. And this headline, Doctors in America, Sex Trafficked Children Have RFID Implants. Right? Now, I mentioned the medical field because you got these doctors out here and these other people that can get their hands on these chips. They're illegally chipping, I should say, against the will of the implantee. Okay, but let me continue to get into this article. It says, sex traffickers in the United States have become so professional that they are now implanting microchips under victims' skin in order to control and enslave children and young people like animals. Doctors across the country are coming forward and revealing the extent of the problem, recounting horror stories involving sex trafficking victims and opening up about increasingly common operations to remove RFID microchips that have been implanted under victim skin. Right? But it's in the Obamacare Affordable Care Act. So although they're so-called taking these chips out, they're going to have to put these chips in. Okay? As chaos outbreaks in America, as more things take place all over the world, that microchip agenda, the mark of the beast, is going to be pushed more heavily. Okay? It says these revelations about the extent of human trafficking in the country add weight to President Trump's claim that there are really horrific crimes taking place, and his federal investigation into the elite pedophile scandal involving human trafficking. Never would have thought the thing known as Pizzagate could get any worse. Well, the pedophilia network known as Pizzagate just got worse, because doctors across America are discovering sex trafficked kids in America have RFID tracking chips lodged inside their bodies. Now, that's a hell of a fine, you know, because these doctors they get these victims and they check them out medically, and I guess they do whatever scans they do, and they find that these chips are inserted within their bodies. Okay, so it says the fact that these sex trafficked children are being discovered with implanted tracking chips across America should now show Americans that Pizzagate is very involved within Washington, D.C. There only has to be one way that is telling of children being sex trafficked inside the United States being involved in the government in some shape or form. And that would have to be sex traffickers in America getting their hands on tracking chips to implant inside their child sex victims. And you could go on these different websites like Dangerous Things for one. You could buy a couple chips, and whatever so-called a slave or sex trafficked child that you want to keep an eye on or keep tabs on, you just inject them with the chip. That's how they make their money. And there's a lot of dark secrets that America, about America, that's being revealed. Of course you got your fake news and your hoaxes and all of that, but there's a lot of dark secrets going on in America that, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiah Shai, starting with the apostle of Great Millstone on down to myself and other brothers, and also other people all over the world, the truth is being pushed out there. Okay? So it says this also would mean Pizzagate is also involved in tech companies as well, as since these are electronic devices. The only people who can truly get their hands on tracking chips for human implanting are either the corporate world or the government. Now that we have this, we now likely have a major connection between the United States government and the underground pedophilia world we dub as Pizzagate in America. All right. So, you know, that's basically the point. They got these tracking chips implanted in these children. You know, mainly these young girls and things like that. Like I said, there's going to be a point to where the microchip is going to be pushed out worldwide. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1, right? Because what the microchip legislation is going to do when it becomes mandatory, that's a direct violation of the Most High's law. When you read in the book of Leviticus, where you're not supposed to make any cuttings into your flesh, and that's what these, as you can see, this device here in the image, it's clearly a device to cut into the skin. You're not supposed to be getting shots and none of that. Okay, the Most High created medicines out of the earth, but Esau in this wicked system, he's going to use these different tools to gain access to, you know, all your information, or it's going to put on this chip, and you're going to be tracked wherever you go. Your money's going to be on there, your account information, your school records, your medical records. Okay. So I'm going to read the scripture. Let me move myself up top. It says, Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. That Obamacare bill, number one, that Obamacare is mandatory. But with those class 2 implantable devices, okay, I believe around page 1004, I think about 1006, maybe 1004, that legislation is in there. So that's an unrighteous decree, okay? It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness, which they have prescribed. They pre-wrote these legislations out, so when certain things take place, that's going to be the go-to document or a law to put forth, okay, to decree. So it says, to turn away the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And that's the legislation of making the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, mandatory. That's an unrighteous law, an unrighteous decree. All right, and the penalty for getting this chip is death. Okay, you're going to be destroyed in the thermonuclear holocaust that's going to take place in America. Okay. You're not supposed to take it. Don't take that chip, man. Okay? But that's pretty much all I wanted to bring out. Just something real quick. Dealing with this mark of the beast and the information that I found recently. So I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostle of the great millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.